Hi folks, this is all the fruit, and here I have the Singo pear, or Shingo pear, from Korea. At least, this is what the lady in the Asian shop who sold it to me told me. She said those are Korean pears. If somebody can read Korean, they had a name for their script, but I forgot it. Well, if somebody can read Korean hieroglyphs, you can tell me if this is Korean. Well, Singo pear or Shingo pear is, of course, an Asian pear, closely related to the nashi pears, Pyrus pyrifolia. That's not to say that they don't have Western-style pears in Asia, but they have this particular type which they domesticated independently in East Asia. Pyrus pyrifolia is closely related to Pyrus usuriensis and Pyrus serotina, and maybe they are something like their parent species. I also saw one website which claims that the Singo pear is Pyrus communis, but this is clearly not the fact. So it looks a lot like a nashi pear. So what's so different about the Singo pear? It's mainly its size. This one weighed over 600 grams. I had to buy it by weight. That's why I bought the smallest one. Yeah, I know. But there were some in the box which were around 1 kilogram. So the size is special. I couldn't really find out whether Singo pear is the same as Korean giant or Olympic pear. The names are rarely being mentioned together in one source. Usually they are being mentioned separately. Korean giant or Olympic pear is probably another type of giant nashi pear, which is typical to Korea. Also, those giant pears didn't originate in Korea, but in China and Japan. Nowadays, they seem to be more typical for Korea. However, I've seen them a lot in Chinese shops, and I've also seen them a lot in Chinese shops in Southeast Asia, which don't have a lot of connections to Korea. It was introduced to North America in the late 19th century, so it has been around there for around 150 years. In Germany, I haven't seen anybody selling trees of giant Shinto pears. Nashi pear trees are being sold, and you find them here and there. Also, you find the more pale nashi varieties on the market, while the trees are usually from the more brown varieties, which are more frost hardy. This stuff seems to be hardy to USDA zone 5, so no reason not to grow it in Germany. The big fruit size is, part of it is genetic, part of it is achieved through thinning out the fruits. That means you remove a lot of the flowers or young fruits so that the remaining ones get particularly big. And they're, I think, a symbol of luck and prosperity and stuff like that, especially due to their size. That's why they fetch a higher price. So thinning out the fruits seems to make sense. You will sell less pears by total weight, but the weight of each pear will be much higher, so you can fetch a higher price. And of course, I bought the smallest one. What does this mean? Less prosperity for me? Maybe I did a mistake. So if you look at the pear, well, the outside is quite rough. That's why they are also called sand pear or sandpaper pear. The inside is bright white and crispy. Just spit out the part with the seeds. It's crispy, not like a Western pear. In the West, most pears are best enjoyed when already kind of soft. At least a lot of people like them when they're kind of soft, because then they're kind of sweet. I've also eaten tasty crunchy Western pears, but usually they were more on the mild and bland side. Those Asian pears, they stay crunchy and crispy even when fully ripe. This one is ripe. The flavor is delicious, different from your average nashi pear. More rich, more honey-like. This thing is good. Yeah. The rind is also edible. However, it's more tough. It has a different flavor, more astringent. But the flesh of this pear is really delicious. I like the flavor. It's a flavor with notes of honey, of savoriness, of a little bit of unknown exotic fruits. Totally different, of course, than the flavor of the Western pears. It has nothing to do with the flavor of the Western pears. That's why a lot of people in the West think those are pear-apple hybrids. No, they are not. They are pears. But this also has a flavor totally different from all nashi pears I know. Good stuff, definitely. Yeah, I totally recommend you to buy the giant Shinto or Sinto pears. Maybe buy a bigger one than me. You'll pay a hefty price. I mean, you can see that they're expensive already by the way they are being packed. Each one in styrofoam and with a separate label. But I would say it's totally worth the money. Tell me if you have experiences with Asian pears. Apart from that, stay tuned for a lot more fruit videos from the beautiful and incredibly fruit-rich ethnic shops in Germany. And if you want to see more such content, it's not enough to subscribe to my channel because YouTube kinda stopped recommending my videos. But you should rather press the little bell icon to be notified of new uploads.